The department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs has submitted its final reports for the three bills aimed at reforming criminal laws in the country. These reports are on the Bharatiya Nyay Sanhita, the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita and the Bharatiya Saksha Adhinayam bills, which have all been submitted to the Rajya Sabha chairman Jagdeep Dhankar. At least 8 opposition members in the panel, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Ravneet Singh, P. Chidambaram, Derek O'Brien, Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, Dayanidhi Maran, Digvijay Singh and N.R. Elongo have all filed separate dissent notes opposing various provisions of these bills. Now, retaining the offence of adultery has been accepted by making it gender neutral. Let's go across to Sunil to understand this better. And Sunil, this is something, adultery as a crime had been struck down by the Supreme Court in 2018, but now the recommendation is to bring it back, and the panel has accepted this, but has said that it should be gender neutral.
That's right, Gargi. As you are well aware, in 2018, the Supreme Court in a constitutional bench with 5 judges had really ruled and said that, it is an archaic act. The fact that, adultery is only, a woman is seen as a property of a man, and struck it down and said very categorically that you can't criminalize adultery and made it very clear. It can be a ground for divorce, but it can't be a criminal offense. Now, the parliamentary committee has gone one step backwards and has gone ahead and made that decision to say that marriage is a sacrament, in Indian society, and it must be respected, so it should be gender neutral. And this, of course, is something now which will become a contentious issue, because you're attempting, in layman terms, to undo a Supreme Court ruling in this regard. Having said that, as you rightly pointed out, there are many dissent notes. One, of course, from the former Home Minister, Mr. P. Chidambaram, who says it's not the business of the government to get into, the relationship between a husband and wife on such important matters. So definitely, these are big issues that have to come in. This is not alone. I mean, adultery is just one part of it. 377 again, which had been struck down by the Supreme Court in terms of criminalizing homosexuality, sex. The committee says that it has to go beyond that into transgender, man and female, as well as bestiality, as they say. So that also has to be taken into account, and wants those provisions back again, the section 377 in the new criminal law. And like that, there are many, many others, Gargi, which are, and there is a clear knee-jerk reaction, a hurry from the Home Ministry to pass these bills in the next session of Parliament, that is the winter session, which starts on the 4th. For example, the whole aspect of terrorism has been brought into the Indian Penal Code system, as well as organized crime, sedition, and the list carries on. So definitely path-breaking changes. But these two, the adultery as well as 377, is an attempt to undo what the Supreme Court has already passed through constitutional courts, and the legislation now trying to undo it by saying that this has to be looked at in its entirety, and that marriage is a sacrament. So we wait for that final word, what the government finally decides on this matter, because these reports have been submitted. The Home Ministry will study and then do an interministerial consultation before finalizing its recommendation and bringing a cabinet note for cabinet approval, and then introducing it in Parliament.
Right. So, Sunil, what you're telling us, what we do know is that 8 opposition members have given their dissent notes. So all this will now be once again studied by the ministry. And, what if they decide to disregard these dissent notes? How does, if you could just explain to the viewers how it now works?
Well, it's very simple. As you rightly pointed out, once this entire, this report is now public, it's gone to the Home Minister as well as the Home Ministry. The Home Ministry, through its judicial department, will study this entire legislation and the various departments that relate with it. They will consult with, and it's an interministerial consultation that takes place with the legal department, with the legislative department, and other Prime Minister's office. Once that finality is given through that cabinet note, it will go to the cabinet for approval, whether they accept these recommendations and look at the points of the opposition members and what they have had to say and look at it in its entirety, and then hopefully some way forward in terms of going ahead and bringing these path-breaking criminal laws to be amended. These are three new laws which are being attempted to do away with the colonial Raj. But as you're well aware, even the British took nearly 30, 40 years to pass this IPC, and which has stood the test of time nearly 200 years. So it's in that backdrop that we must not be in a hurry because this is all backed to subject of judicial scrutiny ultimately.
Right, Sunil, thanks so much for joining us with that. So, as Sunil was telling us, the parliamentary panel, they're taking up these various aspects that have been changed in the criminal justice system with these three new laws, and step back in a sense when the Supreme Court had already ruled out having adultery as a crime, as a penal offence. And now the parliamentary, now the recommendation to bring it back, even though making it gender neutral, as Congress's P. Chidambaram said, that the state has no business entering into the lives of a couple. So this could possibly complicate matters further for as far as the justice system goes.